Gemini, this is your monthly for April 2025. You're going to get 5 cards, and we are just going to it right now. Okay, that'll work. So, 9 of Pentacles, Knight of Wands in reverse, Five of Wands in the upright, and the 10 of Cups in reverse. It's like that Five of Swords is in the upright just to prove like the rest of the deck isn't in reverse. So last month it was the major arcana that was all in reverse, or no reason at all other than just to ensure that we all knew that all these big events that were coming in for March were going to be something. But you're going to get 5 cards for it. You know what? We're just doing that. 5 cards for the month, and then we're going to draw some more here in a minute. But 9 of Pentacles in reverse, focus on your self-worth above the worth that you bring to others, above what you do for other people. There is a chance that you've been living beyond your means, but I think it's because you may have been helping someone out or feeding into a relationship that's one-sided. You may be feeling like you're building a practical relationship that's going to do you some good in the long run, but in reality, I think this is going to be a cycle that you repeat because you've done this before. This character right now in the center of the 9 of Pentacles is looking to the past, and it's like this bird came from the past to say, hey, you remember where this got you before, because he's looking into the future. You remember what happened the last time you did this, and there's some kind of hopefulness in the central character's look that, like, oh yeah, it's a gift of nature just perching on my hand, but it's just happenstance, and this isn't what happened before. This isn't going to be something from the past repeating because I don't want it to be. And it feels like it's on a much more practical, sure-footed ground, but it's not. This messenger, because birds are messengers, this messenger is almost like a messenger from the universe saying that you remember where this got you before, and it's triggering a memory because it's supposed to. It's likely that someone that you're dealing with in the physical is reminding you of somebody else or something else. And whenever you look at this, it's a problem because it's exhausting you, and that's why you don't want to look at it, and you don't want it to be the same thing over again. Because you're trying to burn through this and burn through the past and try to evolve and change and get through everything, because you're tired of being without energy, but you keep burning out. And it's likely that you're working so much, you're burning yourself out so much because you don't want to deal with a conflict that you know that's imminent. Gemini, it feels like you have a lot of repeating relationships in your life, and You keep getting drawn back into this energy because it's likely reactive. You want to be appreciative and you want to be appreciated. And that's why you feed into this. But even though the fight is over, you're still holding on to these ideas that got you into the fight to begin with, that got you into this problem to begin with. And you may be willing to carry the fight. It's just like over here, it feels like it's a one-sided relationship with the Nine of Pentacles. And then with the Five of Swords, it's like, it's just a repeating of the energy. Like you're yelling at somebody, but you're yelling at a brick wall because that person is not standing there anymore. They're not in the fight anymore. They're not fighting for this relationship. They're not fighting for something because it's already over. And you may be feeling like you're coming in with all this energy, like I'm not going to fix it. I'm going to breathe life back into something. And if a relationship is a project, then it's not a relationship. And that's why we've got the Ten of Cups in reverse. As much as you want these relationships to work out, Gemini, it just doesn't look like they're going to. And there's a couple of Geminis that I've known who have that, where they've put into it and gotten comfortable with the idea of family or an assumed family. And as much as they want a functional family that they can rely on, no matter what they do, it just never works out that way. Like there's a desire for community, but it just doesn't. It doesn't ever seem to work out because these other people are not aligned to the same things that you are. And it's not because you're not trying, Gemini, because you keep trying, you keep putting this energy, you keep loving and doing the basic things and the things that are supposed to be done, that need to be done, and yet somehow you're still being viewed as combative, like you're carrying the fight, you're carrying the war for everybody, and they don't even know there's a battle going on. And it may be getting to the point where you are where you may be thinking that if you just disconnect from the problem, you'll be able to start over and get back to a square one with everybody, and disconnect from the problem and just let it go. It's not going to reset anything for them because they're holding on to it. You may have a spot where you take soap and water to the chalkboard and you clean it. You clean that motherfucker until it is pristine and there is no resemblance of anything that happened before. So everything is back to square one, perfectly clean slate, and these other people have tiny, meticulously detailed notes and permanent marker on a whiteboard about your relationship and about your life and about things that don't even have anything to do with them that they're holding on to. And that's where it's like there's two totally different versions of disconnecting. They're keeping track of all this because then they can point to you and say that this is why you're the problem today, and you're looking at them like, what problem? I cleaned the slate, and the only person that's holding on to this is you. But you have something that I need, and I have something that you need, and I don't see why this can't be a reciprocal relationship. And it's because the only thing that they're willing to give is this history, and it may be a I'm cussing a lot in this. It may just be a jumble fuck of shit that may or may not even be true. It could just be a bunch of contrived crap that they're taking out of context, that they're putting where they want it, and they're putting in that excuse that they're keeping a list of excuses. If anybody stopped them on the street, it's like all they have to, and ask them a question about you, Gemini, or about a XYZ situation, it's like they have a stack of cue cards in the in their back pocket that they can pull out. Like, hold on, let me shuffle this real quick and I'll get you an answer. You want a card off the top or the bottom? And then it's like they have all these pre-written bullshit. And I don't know, I really think that there may be a problem. It's not a problem because, let me finish this before I say that, before there's any kind of emotion associated to it from you, okay? I think there may be the quote-unquote problem of Geminis, the same problem that Cancer has. And that is that as much as Cancer is a family sign, as much as Gemini is the communication sign, it never works out with the people it's traditionally, I guess, supposed to. Because Geminis can communicate and because Cancer can feel, they can intuit what the intention is, and Gemini can communicate exactly what their intention is, but other people can't or won't. And that's, you may find that you are surrounded more by friends and random people that you just happen to get in with, and then they kind of, it's almost as though you kind of like snake your way through people's lives and they do the same thing to you, and they're there for a while and they're a part of your life until they're not. And even though something will change for them, it doesn't change for you because you're used to communicating. It's likely that you've been communicating in a lot of ways that they don't realize, and they've been communicating to you in a lot of ways that they're unaware of. But it's likely that you know a lot about them through those ways that they are completely and totally unaware of. Yeah, I'm having deja vu, Groundhog Day of the mouth syndrome, so I'm sorry. But we are going to do this, and you know what? That actually makes sense. These two cards came up exactly like this for Taurus, which I just did. And the way that I put the cards back into the deck is they all get separated and put in different random spots, and then everything gets shuffled a few times, and somehow these two cards are still together, and they are in exactly the same position. So you may want to watch the Taurus read if you want to get some insight on that side, but for you, Gemini, we have the Knight of Cups. You may be dealing with some of the same issues, or dealing with issues in the same way. Like you're holding on to this emotion from the past, and you may be even prettying it up. And it's in an effort to work together with someone, but it's every time that you have an answer or you're like, hey, I understand this. With the Three of Pentacles, I understand this. Let's work together. Let's find a way to organize and defeat this problem and then move on to the next step. And it's like they're stuck on an emotion from the past too, but in a different way than you are. You're wanting to retain the relationship from the past based on those emotions and the expectation of what that relationship was supposed to be. However, this other person doesn't want to connect because they think that you're misaligned with their end goals, and they may be a Taurus or an Earth sign. So it's kind of funny. I got the image that you're getting a tiebreaker card too, but in a minute. The image that I got with this before I pulled these two cards was how separated earth and air are element wise. Like you have earth, which is above, and earth, which is above, air, which is above, and then earth, which is below. And the only way that they really combine is whenever air is the one doing the work. But it's like air requires chaos energy in order to do the work for this. And my main image was of a cave, right? Representing earth signs or the earth element, however you want to see this. And it could just be someone that you find is very stubborn in your life. But it's like they are a cave, they are a hole in the ground, and it looks like they're accepting, like they are open to a situation, but in reality it's just erosion. And air is in the cave because air is everywhere and it's unavoidable, and there could be a gust of wind that comes through and blows through the cave and moves things around. And the other image that I was getting was of a tornado, like picking up a tree, picking up, which really is an interesting concept because like the tree is a combination of water and earth. Because the tree is going to be filled with water. So it's almost like air, the air sign, you Gemini, whenever you get to it, it's like you're taking the emotion from the earth sign and making it something that's doing something. But also taking it out of the context in which the earth sign would necessarily want it to be in. And for them, it doesn't make sense. And I'm not sure if this makes sense to anybody other than me, but I'm really not trying to make these all 25-minute readings, but that may be where we're at today. I'm going to stop rambling and pull the tiebreaker card. And yeah, okay. Communication coming in, and speed, movement, things are changing, and there's a tornado. And air travel. So yeah, there is that tree that is I think that for the month of April, with what we've got here, if you've been having difficulty with a relationship or with people in general, that may be the answer. It's for you to disconnect Gemini and allow somebody to carry their own cup and try to carry the relationship for a while. Whenever they come back around and decide that they need you for something, say you're busy. I don't want to say don't ask them, don't check on them, don't reconnect with them. Let them be the one who connects with you. And if they don't, then I think at some point they will. I think at some point they will, because likely you are a fixture in their life that they rely on quite a bit, and they don't realize how much. But it's almost as though this energy with the Eight of Wands for you, Gemini, is going to cause them to move in. Because whenever you do this little bit of a disconnect from whoever this stubborn person is, you're going to start working on something else. Like, you're going to start focusing on something else because you don't think you can help yourself. And as soon as you start looking in the direction of something else, it doesn't feel like it's a person. It feels like it's something that you're doing for you. An event that you've wanted to bring into your life, and it's like things are coming through all of a sudden. You have a chance to move on it, so you're moving on it. That's whenever they're going to come back and wonder, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm busy. And this is them. It is possible that this is a job that's used to you being like, hey, can I pick up some extra time? When can I come in? They're just expecting you to be at the ready to fill the gap, mind the gap. And like it's your job, like you're standing there waiting for the chance to jump in and fill the hole, and take that however you want to, Gemini. But it's going to put them into a position that they're wondering, what do I do now? And this is for the entire month, so this could be kind of a slow burn kind of a process, and they could be a little dense and not putting 1 and 3 together. So, and I said 1 and 3 for a reason. I don't think it's a normal. So the numbers 1 and 3 may have something to do with you. It could be a work shift. It could be a house number, a shift number. You could take first and third shift. Or it could have something to do with the number 13. And I don't think it has anything to do with death, because we don't have the card out here, and it's not on the bottom. On the bottom, if you're curious, is the Ace of Pentacles in that position. So it looks like there will be some kind of abundant manifestation coming in for you, Gemini. And I don't think it's just money. I think it's going to be stability too. But you guys have a wonderful month, and I will see you next time. Please be sure to like and sub if you're not already, and stay tuned for the dailies.